So this happened a few years back when a couple of buddies and I decided to hike a stretch of the Appalachian Trail. Nothing extreme, just a few days out in the woods, get off the grid, clear our heads. I'd done parts of the trail before, but this area was new to all of us. About halfway through the second day, we're hiking along, and I spot something in the middle of the trail, dead center. We all stop and walk up to it, and it's a bundle of sticks, twisted together, almost like a little figure. It reminded me of that thing from the Blair Witch Project. Not identical, but close. Definitely not natural. Someone made it and placed it right there. We stood around it for a minute. Nobody said anything, really, just kind of looked at each other like, "You seeing this too?" I thought it was cool, honestly. Creepy, sure, but cool. I figured it was just someone having fun, messing with hikers, right? So I picked it up and tossed it in my backpack. Just a weird souvenir, you know? Anyway, we keep going, finish the day, and make camp near this clearing off a side trail. Usual stuff, fire, food, talking until we're tired. We crash for the night, nothing unusual. Next morning, I get up before the others and start walking toward the edge of camp to take a leak. And that's when I see it. Another stick figure. Same size, same shape, same weird twisty pattern. I froze. First thing I did was check my pack. The one I picked up the day before? Still there. Untouched. Zipped up in the same pocket I'd stuffed it in. So I asked my friends, "Did one of you make this and leave it by my tent?" They swear up and down they didn't, and I believe them. These are guys I've known for years. They like to mess around, sure. But this would have taken time, and we were all exhausted by the time we set up camp. Plus, this thing was nearly identical to the one in my bag. The same exact knots, same angle on the arms and legs, the same rough string holding it all together. I just kept thinking, how? Like if one of them had wanted to copy it, they'd need the original to model it. But that one never left my pack. I was the only one who touched it. And even if they somehow made a perfect replica overnight, when? I would have heard them. And here's the kicker. We were deep. I mean, hours from the nearest road. Nobody else on the trail. We hadn't passed another hiker since the day before, and even then, it was just a couple heading the opposite way. So what are the odds that we find this weird handmade stick figure in the middle of nowhere? And then, the very next morning, another one shows up right at our camp? I didn't say much about it at the time. Neither did they. We just sort of packed up fast that morning. Everyone got a little quieter after that. And yeah, I still have both of them. They're in a box in my garage, wrapped up in an old flannel shirt. I don't even know why I kept them. I want to believe it was one of my friends messing with me. I hope that's all it was. Because what are the other options? That something or someone else was out there, watching us, close enough to know I picked that thing up and able to leave a perfect copy without a sound? Yeah, I don't even want to go there. You think you're alone out in the woods until something reminds you that you're not.
When I was in my 20s and 30s, I spent a lot of time out in the Canadian wilderness canoeing through those untouched lakes and winding rivers. There's something pure about that kind of solitude. No phones, no people. Just you, the trees, and the water. It clears your head. My friend and I had just finished a 7-day canoe trip deep in the backcountry. We were tired, sore, but in a good way. We were paddling southbound on a lake that was maybe 8 miles long. The water was choppy that day, not too bad, but enough to make you pay attention. We kept close to the western shoreline. Towering granite cliffs rose straight out of the water, maybe 40, 50 feet high in some places. They helped block the worst of the waves so the ride was smoother near them. We weren't talking much. You don't. After that many days on the water, you just paddle and listen and look. We started scanning the cliffs as we went, hoping to spot some old native petroglyphs. They're rare, but they're there, if you know where to look. And this area had that kind of history. Then, something caught my eye. Just a flicker, something that didn't fit. I tapped my buddy's shoulder and pointed. We slowed the canoe down, letting the waves rock us side to side as we drifted in closer. The whole cliff face loomed over us, and then we saw it. A small bronze plaque, maybe 4 feet above the waterline, perfectly mounted on the face of the cliff. It didn't belong there. Not in a place like that. We were miles from anything. No campsites, no trails, no boats, not even distant ones. Just us, the wind, and the sound of water slapping against the canoe. I leaned in to read it. It said, "Upon this spot, on September 12, 1972, Jane and John Doe drowned during a storm. May they rest in peace." That's it. No more. Just a date, 2 names, well, placeholder names, and the word drowned, right there on the plaque. I can't tell you what it felt like sitting there, floating in silence with that plaque so close from my face. It was like time stopped, like the lake was holding its breath. We just stared at it. Who marked this spot? Was it a relative, a friend, or something else? Why not use their real names? The metal was weathered, but still solid, almost like it was meant to be found by someone. Eventually, after a few minutes, we backed away slowly. Didn't say a word, just kept paddling. But the silence felt different now, like the lake was watching us. That moment chilled me, still does. Sometimes you find the most unexpected things in the most unexpected places. And if you're lucky, you never find anything like that again.
Have you ever stayed somewhere that just feels wrong the second the sun goes down? Like everything's fine during the day, quiet, peaceful. But once it gets dark, your brain starts picking up on stuff that doesn't quite sit right. I'd just gotten this new job, super stressful, and I needed to just get away for a bit. Clear my head. A buddy of mine, Jake, offered me his family's old cabin out in the woods. He said no one had been out there in years, but the place still stood fine. No cell service, no neighbors, totally off the grid. It sounded perfect. So I head out there on a Friday afternoon. The place is definitely rustic, filled with old furniture that smells like dust and cedar, but it's peaceful. Thick trees all around, birds chirping, no traffic, no noise. Just me and nature. Out back, there's this old stone well. Really old. Like something from a fairy tale. Covered with a rotting piece of plywood and a couple of rocks to weigh it down. I didn't mess with it. Just figured it was out of use and probably full of spiders and dead leaves. Anyway, first part of the night was fine. It started to rain a little bit, which I actually found peaceful. Now here's where it gets weird. Around 2 in the morning, I wake up to this clank sound, like metal on stone. Not loud, just sharp. I sit up in bed, trying to figure out if I imagined it. Then I hear it again. Clank, scrape, clank. I peek out the window, and my flashlight beam catches something, someone actually, moving near the well. There's a man. He's crouched next to it, facing away from me, wearing a hood or maybe a cap. I can't see his face. He's got a crowbar or something in his hand, and he's prying the plywood cover off the well. My blood went cold. Now remember, I'm supposed to be completely alone. This cabin is miles from the nearest road. Nobody should be out there. I duck down, heart pounding. I kill the flashlight, crawl to the other window. He's still out there, pulling the cover off like he's done it 100 times. And then, he just sits there, next to the open well. Doesn't move, just sits, staring into it. I don't know how long I waited. Could have been 10 minutes, could have been 30. But eventually, he stands up, looks around, and walks slowly, deliberately, into the woods. I stayed awake the rest of the night, sitting on the floor with a kitchen knife. Didn't hear him come back, but I didn't dare sleep either. Next morning, I step outside. Well, cover's completely off. And next to it, a rope. Just coiled there like someone planned to climb down. Even creepier, there were boot prints all around the cabin, like he'd circled it, like he was checking it out. There were even prints right under the front window. I had to have just missed him before I woke up. I packed up right then and there, just tossed everything in the car and peeled out. Told Jake about it later, and you know what he says? "Oh yeah, I've seen that guy before. Sometimes he shows up on the security cameras near the tree line. We thought it was just some drifter." Some drifter? That drifter was 10 feet from my bed in the middle of nowhere at 2 a.m., poking around a sealed-up well like it was his personal project. So yeah, that's why I don't do cabins anymore. Give me a noisy motel over peaceful isolation any day. Because out in the woods, if something happens to you, no one's around to hear it.
Which story was fake? Comment your guess now. I'll reveal the truth in a pinned comment right when the next video drops. Subscribe so you don't miss it.